Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and welcome to Grillbar Galaxy. No, just kidding. Welcome to game Dev Tycoon. This is my introductory video as well as the beginning of my new mini-series. Well, I call this a mini-series because I'm definitely going to post as many videos of this game as I do of Endless Space or the Heroes or something. By the Heroes, I mean Heroes of Might and Magic, obviously. So what I'll do right now is, first of all, I'll load up some kind of game because I would rather have some sound than not. And unfortunately, the intro menu music does not really loop. So what I'm going to do, first of all, this game is not, I do have to stress this out, it is not a clone of Game Dev Story. It is a different game. It has a different engine, it has different mechanics based on the mechanics of Game Dev Story, but those are different games. You people, I mean, not necessarily you, but some people need to learn to tell the difference between a clone and something that is, you know, expanding the genre as it is. Otherwise, we can call everything a Dune 2 clone, or Wolfenstein 3D clone, and so on and so forth. This game is different than Game Dev Story, and you need to keep that in mind and just F the haters, as simple as that. So anyway, what else did I want to talk? Oh yes, this game also gained a lot of publicity recently. Personally, I thought that this is just because of TB's livestream, which is how I learned about this game, but apparently it's also because of the deal with the piracy, or the way that this game tried to fight piracy indeed. Honestly, it is an interesting read if you are into this kind of thing. I did read it, and I did find it interesting, but, you know, it's not something that I'm going to talk about because, hey, why would I? Anyway, what is important is what this game is all about, and I believe that the best way to introduce you to this particular game is just to, you know, play the game itself. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right now I just skipped over the game history in the background. So this is indeed, as the title suggests, a game dev tycoon, which means that you set up your own company, you develop video games, and you try to make your living out of it, which is a rather difficult task, as you will find out. Now I'm going to start a new game, and yeah, I'm going to skip the tutorials because I played a bunch of hours of this game, so I know what I'm doing more or less. You on the other hand may not, so I'll do my best to teach you some of the basics. Don't expect the same level of expertise that I have with, for example, Endless Space. Not like I'm a huge expert of Endless Space, but let's face it, I'm rather good with whatever. I'm a good Endless Space player. Maybe not the best, obviously not the best, but I'm good. So what this game starts, how does this game start? Well, you can tweet around with a little amount of settings. You can change the game length by 5 years, not a big amount of customization, honestly. I like to go for 35 years. Why? Quite simply because, I don't know, I like to have more time to develop my games before new consoles come in, come out, you know how it goes. Now, my company name, I really like my previous company's names, and since it is going to be a series that I'll post on YouTube, how about we stick to it? So, Grillbar Galaxy. Grillbar Galaxy. Why? Because I just like this name. It's also based off a book that I'm reading right now. Actually, I'm rereading this book for the first time because I'm really a big fan of it. Obviously, I translated the title because the book that I'm reading is written in Polish. Sad, too bad for you. My name, I'm obviously Pancake. Or PANCZASU, or the mighty mix spammer, but most people refer to me as Pan or Pancake. So how about I call myself Pancake? How do I look? Well, I definitely don't look like that. Wow, I hate this guy already. This guy, he's the kind of guy that is responsible for some nerdy tweets about your company. He's your employee, but he posts some stupid tweets and, you know, makes some trouble. I don't want this guy. Anyway, who I played as last time is this guy. Obviously, I have a whiter skin tone, but this hairstyle is kind of similar to mine. I do have a classy t-shirt though, and none of those t-shirts resemble any of mine. Even my pink t-shirts are more classy than this, so I guess I'll go for this one, and I'll just try to live with what I have. Continue. I'm going to save right away so that I do have a save file. That's right, I hope it doesn't overwrite the other save file and that I'll be able to tell them apart, because so far this game, I mean the way I called my company and myself is the exact same as in my previous playthrough, so it might be irritating for me, but not for you, hopefully. Alright then, so the first thing that I'll have to do in my poor little garage is I will have to develop a new game. How do I do this? It's very simplistic. First of all, I call a game. What is going to be our first game? Well, actually I'll start by picking a platform. So, most of the platforms don't really have their real names, rather just funny spin-offs, so we can choose between G64 and PC. For me this is ancient era, I wasn't even born back then. But, you know how it goes. Personally, I am a big fan of PC and I always have been, but PC is for nerds. I mean, stupid nerds play on PC. So we're gonna go for G64, it's an amazing console, and we're gonna stick with it. What kind of topic can we choose from? Well, at the start we don't get a lot of topics, so you can research more of them later, but we'll get to that. First of all, I believe sports is a popular topic with the kids. What kind of genre? Well, if it's sports, then either simulation or action, in my opinion. I'll go for action, because simulation, I don't know, I'll just go for action. And how am I going to call it? I'm gonna call it a formless pop. Because let's say it's a rugby simulation, or rather a rugby action game. So a formless pop is basically what is going to be left of people that you play against, or with, or you, in fact. So I believe that's a fitting, title for a game. Obviously, you're gonna go for 2D graphics. I mean, that's the business these days. We already have Pong. I mean, it's not like after Pong there were no text-based games. Quite the opposite. But I believe that invention and trying to modernize not the community, but how's it called? The industry is very important. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now there are 3 development stages. The first stage is when you decide the balance between engine, gameplay and story quests. Well, at this day and age, I don't believe anybody cares about story quests, especially when we are talking about rugby action game. So we're gonna leave that out. Now, engine and gameplay, what do I believe is more important and or fitting? I would say that gameplay is kinda important and engine... Or maybe the engine is important, yeah. Or maybe the gameplay. You know what, I'm gonna leave the gameplay in. Right now, let's say that I'm a rookie coder, so I'm not that great with creating a game's engine, so I'm gonna leave it at, 50% more or less, and focus on the gameplay. I'm sorry, because that's the business these days, as I said. Alright, now those little, I don't know, balls represent, design and technology and research and bugs points. Obviously you want to have as little bugs as possible. You don't really control this, but what you can do is after you finish the game, you just wait for a while and those bugs will be resolved. Design and technology, this ties in closely to how the game sells. Obviously the better design and the better technology that your game has, the better it is going to sell. And research is something that you use, well, to research new stuff, as simple as that. No, those things are fairly similar to Game Dev Story, which is why I guess some people will say that this game, Game Dev Tycoon, is a ripoff, which it isn't, because as the further you go into the game mechanics, the more different it is. It is basically an improvement as things that is based on... I already talked about this, there's no need to talk about this again, is there now? Now, I do have a choice between dialogues, no need for that, artificial intelligence and level design. Level design not all that important, let's face it, in a rugby game, basically every level is the same. I guess we can... I don't know what we can change in the level design, but artificial intelligence, since it is a single player only title and you do want to have a little bit of a challenge, we're gonna focus on artificial intelligence, thank you very much. So let's press the OK button and continue developing our wonderful, splendid game, which is going to earn us $1 bajillion. No, not really. If there's one thing I learned from this game, is that whenever you hope that your game is going to be amazing, it's not. And when you think that you just created a piece of shovelware that you do not care about, then it is actually going to be a hit. The only exception to that were my spiky balls, but other than that, everything went pretty much this route. So anyway, world design, I don't care about it at all. Because, hey, it's a rugby action game, again, why would I care? Graphics, yeah, let's focus heavily on that, because graphics is the business these days. I know I'm repeating this phrase over and over again, I'm sorry, what can I say, it's a nice phrase, and I think this music could be a little bit louder, which is why I made it louder right now. And the sounds, yeah, who cares about the sounds? I barely care about the sounds in this game. I just wanted it to be a big blower mashup of rugby. Because, hey, why not? I like rugby. So anyway, we're gonna continue playing, and now, oh yeah, this volume is better, and unfortunately, from time to time, your characters will do this scratching on the head thing, and that's when they don't do a thing, which is extremely annoying when you try to do your contract work, but I'll talk about this later in the game. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to resolve some of the bugs. I'm not really under any time pressure except for the fact that I do have to pay for the rent. And oh come on, what did you create a bug? Okay, I finished it. A new pointed design has been created before I finish the game, and it is here. Apparently I focus on technology, which is good, that's the business these days. Why do you keep saying that's the business? What am I, Jesse Cox? Nah, I'm not nearly as fun as him. I'm not even as classy as him, and it takes a special bit of something to be less classy than Jesse. With all due respect to Jesse, he's awesome. He's my favorite YouTuber, I think, or one of the. Anyway, after you release a game, you gain experience points in various types of things like engine, gameplay, all your characters, all your employees, which you will be able to hire later down the line. And this is very important because as you level up certain areas of the game, I mean certain areas of those things, then you gain access to new things. For example, leveling up Leveling up graphics will give you access to new, better 2D graphics. Leveling story and quests will give you access to, I don't know, side stories or stuff like that. It's basically very important to actually level those things up. As for leveling characters, I honestly have no idea what it gives to the characters because I did not bother to look this up or just pay attention to it at all. Right, game reviews. This is the Metacritic, which is why we hate him. Now, honestly, really. That's why Metacritic is bad. Sometimes, quite often in fact, I had games that were ranked like 9.75 and they sold like not at all. Granted, the timing was sometimes bad, but still they didn't sell at all. And sometimes my reviews were like, ooh, this is bad, 4 out of 10, and they sold 2 million copies. So yeah, Metacritic is bad. Nobody should like it. And reviews for Formless Pop. Come on, be good. Quick, but good. F you, Star Games, you don't know anything about gaming and have seen better. Come on! I pulled my heart into this title. Alright, 7 is a better. Game Hero, I like you, Game Hero. You are far better than all of your competition, but shows potential. Of course it shows potential, it's an amazing game. How dare you give me such a poor score, you nasty bagger you. Alright, Grillbag Galaxy, a newcomer in game industry, has just released their first game, Formless Pop. The game received favorable reviews. Of course, wait, actually I wouldn't call them favorable. I mean, people got fired because of this kind of reviews on Metacritic, which is a stupid thing indeed. I'm getting annoyed because of this, because I plan to be a game developer one day myself, so you know how it goes. I mean, work with game developing. I don't want to be an indie dev. In a garage, I don't. Anyway, the game received favorable reviews. No, it didn't, but whatever. With such a good start, it wasn't really a good start. Grillbag Galaxy are sure to gain fans quickly. Now, fans is an important mechanic because the more fans you have, the better your game is going to do, which is fairly important. And the game sold 4,000 units, which made us reach the 51st place in the charts. Not all that amazing, I have to be honest, but alright. Now I'll take what I can get, and now I have 19 fans! And I sold a bunch of 1,000 copies, which I guess is a pretty bad game indeed, if I only have 19 fans of that. I have more fans of my YouTube channel, and I barely get any views, so... although I have to admit that recently those views jumped by a lot. Mostly thanks to the tweets from Endless Space Studios. Not Endless Space Studios, but Amplitude Studios, but whatever. Endless Bob achieved company sales records with over 10,000 units sold. Well, it wasn't too hard if that's my first game, but whatever. So our game has, you know, done some stuff, and after the first few weeks, because the game, in case you did not notice, it is measured in weeks. So we have weeks, months, years, and each week consists of like 4 ticks, which tick very fast. So unless you pause the game by opening windows like I did just now, then those weeks are going to progress very quickly. So anyway, what I can look at right now is game history, and as you can see, there is my Formless Pop, which did reasonably well. I guess I did get some profit out of it, which barely allowed me to pay my rent, but now I have more money than I used to, which is good indeed. I also gained a bunch of fans, which is important because it will make my next game a little bit more successful. What I can also do right now is I can research. So I could research custom game engine, but I don't have enough research points. It is very important to have your own game engine, and I'll talk about this when I actually can do this. For now, however, I'll research a new topic, and I'll research fantasy is awesome, but for now, I guess I'll go for I'll research sci-fi for the future. I will always be using sci-fi because sci-fi is quite frankly amazing. And you wouldn't know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to person just down my glass in real life, I mean, and drink it because quite frankly, I need a drink. I'm sorry, this happens every now and again if you know my videos, which you probably do know, let's face it, because I don't believe too many people are going to find this video in the search engine. Anyway, let me drink. Alright, that's surprising. Last time I played this game, I did not get vocabulary, and I discovered it like up to well, somewhere here, I can't tell. But I discovered a lot of topics, so I guess the topics are indeed randomized except for the few first ones, which is interesting. Apparently every time you play this game it is different, which is very good. Oh, obviously it is supposed to be different because there are some random events, and even when I loaded a game before from, I don't know, a couple of weeks earlier, then some of the things went differently, which is good. This game does have an element of randoms to it, which is something that I really do like. Alright, what I am going to do is not waste any more research points. I want to save up for custom game engine. What I am, however, going to do is develop a new game. Obviously, we're gonna still focus on G64 because that's... Oh, I almost said it. I almost said it again. What kind of game are we trying to make? I'm not too sure just yet, but I think I have an idea. I'm going to make a space simulation game. And I'm gonna call it... How am I going to call it? I already used the space sim in my previous, playthrough, but by previous playthrough I mean previous offline playthrough, non-recorded playthrough, so don't be looking around for it. That's the first YouTube playthrough of this game that I made. Anyway, space sim is a simplistic name that I like because it's simplistic and it says what this is. It's a space simulation, space sim, as simple as that. Next, it's going to be text-based. Why? Because, I don't know, I would like a text-based game. Also, it is cheaper, but honestly, I just feel like developing a simulation is possible to do with just, text-based stuff. Now, it is a simulation and it is in space, so what do we need? We do need some quests, in my opinion. Oh, before we move on, please do not tell me, oh, you did this bad, because there is an optimal way to, bust those bars to make your game on always hit. I know there are. I don't want to know them, quite frankly, because it is ruining the fun. I want to have fun. I want to have some fun randomizing those bars and doing some stupid, silly stuff. I don't want to just power a game. That's not the kind of gamer I am. Anyway, since it is a space simulation, I guess we do need a quest. Maybe not really a story, but we do need a set of quests. I'm sorry. What else do we need? The gameplay or engine? Gameplay is going to be somewhat limited. Engine, you know what? Actually, engine is going to be somewhat limited as well. We're gonna focus on gameplay again because simulation engine, especially in a text-based game, I don't believe it is too important. So let's just, you know what? Get rid of engine altogether. Have a little bit of story and a little bit of gameplay as well. I believe that's going to be a wonderful text-based simulation game. You are a NASA employee trying to fix a nuclear launcher set in space. Those are basically space cowboys, aren't they? So anyway, Formless Pulp is now off the market. It sold a bunch of units, generating a bunch of money in sales. Very nice, I made a profit, which I almost already lost because of the rent. Stupid rent, I hate it. But now what do we need? Dialogues? I don't think there will be any dialogues in my simulation game. Level design is fairly important because that's exactly what I'm going to focus on, different situations, which is I guess a part of level design. Artificial intelligence, not really all that important. Actually, is it important at all? Well, I guess I'm gonna... Actually, even if my dialogues or artificial intelligence or any other bar is at minimal, it still has some time allocated to it, so it's not like you're not gonna have anything. So I can leave dialogues at a very low level, and I will still have something, I guess. The intro screen is going to be a dialogue. Anyway, artificial intelligence not all that important in a space simulation, I just want the game to work. Level design, most important in my opinion. So let's focus on that and see how well we do. A bunch of new balls come up and they are applied to design and technology. This time around, apparently I focus on design rather than technology. Good to know. Now, basic sounds. We don't need no sounds. Also, it's expensive. I don't like sounds. So obviously, we're not going to go for sounds. A little bit of world design just to... And graphics, actually, we don't need graphics either. So I guess we're gonna focus on world design, because that's the only thing I can focus on this stage of development if I don't care about the graphical sound. So I don't know, maybe it's in fact a different reality world, and we're not working for NASA, we're working for NAS. Wait, what? Did I say it right? I didn't. Did I? I don't know. Anyway, industry news. Recent market studies suggest that the Commodore G64 is steadily outselling competitors in the PC sector. Well, obviously, they are not... People who buy G64 are not nerds, they are cool people, and everybody wants to be cool, so that's exactly what is happening. And stop brushing your teeth. What did I want to say? Whatever, I wanted to say stop scratching your head, because that's when you people don't do anything, which is very annoying, because I would rather have them do something than just waste my time. Hey, I clicked finish. There we go. Alright, let's see how well I did. Well, this is my best game in terms of design, which isn't that hard again, because it's my second game, and as you can see, I'm leveling gameplay quite fast, as is the case with level design, and this focus on world design also helped me a lot, so I guess I'll soon be able to unlock a bunch of new stuff in there, which is going to be nice. Let's release the game and wait for the amazing reviews. Yes, everybody is going to love it. I know it's going to be the case. I asked for a 10. 10, not 5. Double the amount of score you gave me. It's not final stages, it's an amazing... Meh yourself, you don't know what is good about gaming. You're disappointing, Game Hero. Oof, I hate Game Hero. And not bad, not good. Just go away, I don't like you. Apparently people don't like text-based games, so I don't understand why, they're awesome. Actually, I do understand why, but you know how it goes. Right, now we are actually able... He finished Space Sim and thinks I have potential. Have you really finished Space Sim? I'm pretty sure that nobody did. Anyway, now contract work is enabled, and what this is basically a way to earn a very small amount of money in downtime when you, for example, wait for to see how well your game sold, or wait for reviews or something. So what this is, you basically, you know, do contract work. So you make sure that you try to achieve a goal. For example, you try to generate 9 design and 11 technology within 4 weeks of time, which is not a lot, but you get paid for this. Now, the pay is never all that big, and if you are running a bigger studio, then you may have problems actually having any, you know, income from this ad. Oh, you just lower the amount that you have to pay for your rent, or you have to pay your employees. But you know, it is also a decent way to at least limit expenses, I guess. By not limiting your expenses, but actually, you know, gaining some money. So how about we try to go for logo animation? I hope my hero is now... My character is not going to scratch his head, because if he is, then I'll fail to do the contract. Now, apparently Japanese company Invento is planning to launch its very own home gaming console. So that's going to be news for us, and I'll probably switch to this console as soon as possible, because it's going to be hot in the industry, obviously. Right, I was able to finish the logo animation fairly easily. At the start, you do not have all that much problem with those contract works, because you pretty much are supposed to be able to go through them, at least within the first month, since you got this. Because you get new contracts every 6 months. 6 months? I thought it's every month. Maybe I read it wrong the last time I read it. Or maybe it's because I'm playing a longer game. I don't know. So what I can do is keep doing the contract work. Now, it is useful because it actually does also give you research, which is more important than money. And, by the way, 69 fans. Yeah. So, anyway, what I'm going to do is probably get a little bit more cash, because I could use it. It will allow me to develop a better game. Although, ultimately, my games for now, because I'm not using any game engine, are pretty cheap to make, which means that I don't really have to worry about those contracts. However, gaining some extra money is always good. What I'm also going to do is make sure that I have saved this game, otherwise it might get awkward if the game crashes. That said, I have not yet seen a single bug in Game Dev Tycoon as of yet, which is a good thing indeed. Alright, once I wasn't able to press escape, but that's like once, and I played a lot of this game. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I still cannot research a game engine, so I'm gonna research just develop a new game. What is it going to be? Well, keep in mind soon, TES is going to be released, so I don't want to compete with that. It would be rather stupid and silly. So let's pick something that doesn't work all that well on this kind of thing. So how about we make a strategy sci-fi? No, a strategy medieval game. When you have to, I don't know, kill people. That's the most inventive I ever was. Not really. So how are we going to code this? Man, my English is really failing me today. It's horrible, especially when I'm trying to make a video of a new game for the first time, but sadly it does happen from time to time. Anyway, oh, I have an idea. Let juice flow. That's right, that's how we're going to code this game. Sadly, typing while recording a video is rather difficult because of the way I have my microphone set up. I basically have to move my keyboard to the left, so I have to kind of bend it over to actually be able to type anything, which is why it takes me such a long time. Alright, let the juice flow. A medieval strategy game when you try to spread the juice over a desert planet. Hello. And it is also set in medieval times, because hey, why not? Engine is important, story and quests is important, gameplay is important. Actually, we're gonna focus on engine because I would like to develop some better engines. So gameplay and story and quests are basically equally important. Story quests are slightly less, but they are still in there. And gameplay, like, yeah, I like this kind of bar setup. Maybe it's going to be a hit. I need a hit. Basically, the way this game works is sadly a little bit too much like real life. If we make an average game, you're just gonna be barely floating on your cash balance. You're gonna be basically at net gain of 0, but you need a hit that is going to earn you a bunch of millions of dollars, and then you can actually move to the next stage of the game, which is a new studio and so on and so forth. Right, what next? Obviously artificial intelligence, very important to improve strategy games. Level design, also very important, but not nearly as important as artificial intelligence, and why not have a little bit more dialogues? I like this way. I think I'm devoting like 50% of my time to artificial intelligence. One thing this game, I mean Dev Tycoon could use is some percentages. So yes, I know that TES has been released. I'll talk about this in a moment. But one thing that this game could use is a little bit more data, or graphs, or things that give you a little bit more feedback, because I would like it. For example, right now I don't know how much exactly I'm allocating time, and I would like to know, for example, if I'm allocating like 25% of graphics, 50% time to graphics, or what. It would be very useful, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it is a strategy game. We're gonna have some sounds to it, not a lot, but a little bit. It's, you know, it's early 80s, people don't care about the sounds, it's just have to make a blip noise and people are going to be amazed. We're gonna focus on graphics, world design, not nearly as important, although I do need to have some of it because, hey, I need to design the desert planet upon which we're gonna, you know, spread the juice on. And yeah, I think we're gonna press the OK. Let me drink a little bit more of juice. My English is really horrible today, I'm sorry. So anyway, my game, it doesn't look to be the best in terms of design or technology, but it did what I wanted it to do, which is it gave me a bunch of research, which is very much so appreciated, because I need it. Also, my engine and the gameplay leveled up, very nice. I'll be able to discover some new technologies from this as well. Well, man, I'm leveling a lot of stuff up, but that's, I suppose, because it is still early stages of the game. At the start you level pretty much everything at once, then those things start to differ by quite a bit. Anyway, now I'm going to release a game. Wow! Actually, I'm gonna wait for the reviews, I'm kinda curious. Okay, the first reviews came in, I asked for a 10. Give me a 10. A 10. 7? That's not good enough, but I'll take it. 10. I asked for 10. We will have a 10. No, I don't like that you just like it, you're supposed to love it. Give me 5? Game Hero is the worst. Who reads this piece of magazine? I don't like it. Anyway, not too great reviews. I guess I'll make some income from this game because, as I said, developing games at this stage of the game is very, very cheap. But it's still not exactly what I have been looking for. So anyway, what I can do now is research a custom engine, which is rather important. I'm gonna start the research right now. So this is going to take my character a little bit of time. Research is basically the thing that you need to do, but research but research itself doesn't really give you any benefits, because it doesn't give any more research points, it doesn't level up your characters, it doesn't do anything, it just gives you access to new custom technologies, which is fairly important, because right now, well, I can still not research anything, but if I were to develop an engine, which I'm not just yet, then I could, you know, include save game or linear. Actually, you know what, I will develop my own engine. Why not? Right, how are we going to call it? I know, just the name. See what I did there? Alright, our new glorious engine frying pan. It's gonna have an absolutely new level of graphics. The most beautiful 8-bit graphics you have ever seen. It's gonna have mono sound, linear story, and a save game. It's an amazing engine, and I'll have to spend all of my money to actually make it. Whew. Well, last time I made this kind of risk and it paid off, so I'm gonna do it again. Now, you do need to know that this game actually does... Your bank, rather, does allow you to go into negative. At this first stage of the game, you're allowed to go to negative 80,000k. Not 80,000k, but negative 80,000. And because of this, I'm not too worried. I believe I will be able to develop a new game. And if it is going to be at least moderately successful, then I'll stay afloat. If not, then I will be in a little bit of trouble. But the game will actually... The bank will actually give me a loan to keep me alive. Alright. New game platform has been released, and Let the Juice Flow is off the market. Perfect timing, if you have to ask me. And now I can research gamepad. Can I stop the frying pan? No, I cannot. That's really annoying. I should have waited for a little bit longer, because then I would have access to the frying pan. Not the frying pad. How's it called? I keep thinking frying pad. What is this called? You know, the thing that you use to play TES with... I forgot. Well, now I will not have it in my engine, which is going to be rather annoying, and... I wish I could load the game, but it was stupid, and that's against the spirit of my YouTube series. I shouldn't reload anything, so I'll just live with what I have, but... Gamepad, that's how it's called. Yeah... That's annoying, but I guess I'll have to live with it. I'll probably focus on G64 if that's the case. Also, you have to know that when you try to develop a new game on a new platform, you do have to acquire a license for it, which is rather expensive with TES, so I probably wouldn't develop anything on it anyway, at least at this stage of the game, with my bank account at this level. So anyway, what I'm going to do is focus on G64 again, although PC is much cheaper, but G64, as I said, PC is for now, G64 is the bee's knees. I said the bee's knees again, what is wrong with me? Today's video, it is just bad. Alright, what I need is a sci-fi. What kind of sci-fi? An action sci-fi. Because, hey, why not? And what will it involve? Actually, you know what? No. We're gonna go for... What do I want to go for? I want RPG. And what kind of RPG would it be? I'll make a sci-fi RPG. I think this kind of combo works well. Because if you do some kind of stupid combos that are not supposed to work well, then your sales, actually, maybe not your sales, but your game Metacritic score is going to be way lower, which is a problem. So anyway, how am I going to call this game? It's a sci-fi RPG. So I'm gonna call it... Thinking is difficult. Oh, actually, why not? Thinking is difficult. Alright, that's too long of a title. So how about thinking difficult... Where did I add? Difficult... Okay. Alright. Actually, let's just call it... I don't know, I'm looking for a cool title and there is none. No tolerance. Why? Because I don't know, and writing games is sometimes big. Oh, F you! It's not difficult. I was just trying to think of something cool. Anyway, now I have my Frankpan engine, which allows me to do a bunch of new stuff. And since it is a sci-fi RPG, actually, what was my last game? Was it an action game? Because I would rather do an action game with the new engine I have. It is quite perfect for it. Yeah, give me a second. I do need to check this out because you should not... Okay, my last game was a medieval strategy, so I can make an action game, no problem. If you were to make another medieval strategy, then everybody would hate me for it. And what was my game's name? No, I don't remember. I have no idea. Memory loss. I guess that's how I'm going to call it. It's going to be a sci-fi RPG, no, sci-fi action. It is going to be on G64 and it is going to be using frying pan engine. It's basically a game when you try to decapitate everybody you come across, and hence the title Memory Loss, because they lose their brains. Right, my bank account is in red and only 50k. Last time it was 80. Well, that's a problem. It's a pretty big problem because I could swear that it was 80 and now, yeah, that's a big problem. I will in the save game option, but if I go for linear story as well, I guess nobody cares about linear story. We're just here to decapitate people, so that's what I'm going to focus on. No, I say no to story and quests. I do say yes to gameplay, it's the most important aspect, and engine as well. We went with this kind of combo of buzz, but I think it will be successful. Hopefully, maybe. I pray it is, because otherwise I'm gonna go into bankruptcy, which would be bad. Nobody cares about dialogues. I do care about both level design and artificial intelligence. I want this game to actually give the players a little bit of a hard time while being reasonably interesting in terms of level design, so I like this kind of time allocation. Right, I feel like we are brewing up a hit. It is going to be incredible and amazing, and everybody is going to love me for it, and... Right, I cannot spend any more money, so I guess it is going to be soundless? Oh no. Yeah, it is going to be soundless. Sadly, it is going to hurt my game a lot! And I do mean a lot, but unfortunately, because of this monthly cost, it really did screw me over. And I don't really want to, you know, get a loan from bank account. It can destroy you in the end, so I'd rather not do this. And maybe people like soundless games. Maybe people cannot afford the speakers in this day and age. I don't know, in 80s. So that's what I hope for. Yet again, I'll focus on graphics, especially since I have my new beautiful graphic engine. And that's right. And world design, yeah, let's have a little bit of that as well. A little bit. I do want to focus on graphics. And that's about it. Man, I really do hope that this game is going to sell well and quickly, because if I go in negative 50, alright, get rid of the bugs right now. Good, develop it. I mean, publish it now, before I go into red. It's not going fast enough. Game, I'm only gonna start gaining income after the next week, I guess. And then I'll have to pay for my rent, 8,000, which will put me in red. I have to take a loan, which makes me annoyed, because if I knew that this is going to be the case, then I could have just added sounds to the game. But maybe it will work. Yeah, now I can have joystick. I'm so happy. Maybe I can make contract work fast enough to actually earn some money. I hope I will. Is there something easy? 5 weeks of this? Yes, please. Right. Serious financial difficulties, F you, but I'm not gonna go bankrupt over this. I will survive. I have to pay a lot for this, but maybe I'll be able to do this with the contract work and all in all. Very annoying, but yeah. No, actually I'll have to pay 166. Alright, I guess I have to. Let's pray that this game sells well. I don't want the series to end right here, because it's... No! Star Games! I hate Metacritic! Metacritic is so stupid. Oh, 8! Informed gameplay, I mean, informed gamer is clearly very informed because it knows what it says. I mean, come on, people, love this game, love it! Not a nice experience yourself. It is way better than that. Yeah, I have a feeling that I might have to start a new game off camera and to get to more or less this point in time where we are at right now, because it doesn't look all that great. Even if I do this contract work, which is going to be difficult in 3 weeks, although this might be very easy, then yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of money because of this bank bailout. Please don't scratch your head, please don't. I'm gonna kill you if you're gonna scratch your head. Don't you dare scratch your head, thank you. Right, it looks like I was able to terrify myself enough to actually finish this contract rather than just scratch my head and not do a thing. Right, I have plenty of money right now. Keep in mind that I'll have to pay my bank from that. But Memoryless, how well did it do? not all that well. I barely gained anything. I mean, I did gain $86,000, which is better than anything really. Yeah, I forgot that I don't have any major hits as of yet. So what do I do? I would like to research something, and I'm gonna research a new topic, a fantasy game, because it's gonna be important for the future when gaming comes around, because that's the console that made me amazing in the past, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Right, memory loss is off the market. It gave me a bunch of money. In fact, it gave me just enough to pay for the bank bailout. That's good, and I'll still have a little bit of money left, which is extremely important and very, very good indeed. Can I research another interesting topic? What do I have left? Government? Who cares about government? I am going to research racing though, because racing games are cheap and easy games to make. And I guess in 2D, yeah, you could make racing games in 2D, I guess. So that's something I could do, and will do in fact. Alright, so we're gonna finish working on racing games. Thank you. And TES is a massive success. Well, we know about that. People love controller because it's more fun than keyboard. Unfortunately, my newest engine does not support controllers because I'm a stupid, silly person. And I can reset steering wheel. I'm obviously not going to do this just yet. It costs money, in case you were wondering. I'm not gonna create custom engine just yet, it would ruin me. What I am going to do, however, is make a racing game, a racing simulation game. What was my last game? I keep forgetting. Those games that I made so far are so forgettable. And it's kind of sad. Last time I remembered everything. Oh right, memoryless. I guess. Well, you know what? It's a perfect title. It really, really is. But anyway, what I'm going to do is develop where is it? A simulation racing game. I really hope I can actually get some more money and maybe not necessarily get to the stage of the game when we move to the next office, because it takes a lot of effort, but at least I would like to show you some more advanced mechanics, which there are plenty of, but well, I have not reached them yet in this particular playthrough, and there are some very interesting mechanics, really. Right, engine frag pan, obviously. How are you going to call this game? Well, it's a racer game, so I guess I'll call it Drunken Cop 2000, because back in the days every game was called 2000. Drunken Cop. There we go. And it's gonna use the state of the art 2D graphics, because hey, why not? Right. What we're gonna do next is it is going to have a story. It is. Is it? It's gonna cost a lot, and people don't care about story in simulation games. Now let's just have people play around. It is since it is a simulation and we're gonna just race in a kart or in something else, I don't know, then I guess gameplay isn't that important. We just need to have an accelerated and maybe the ability to control where we are actually driving, and that's about it. So let's focus on the engine and solely on the engine. Did I go for 7 games? I actually didn't need it, I believe. It's a bunch of wasted money. We just want to have a bunch of simple tracks that people will be able to race on, and that's about it. Now, level design, very important with simulators, in my opinion. Artificial intelligence should be decent. I want there to be some people that you need to race against. I mean AIs that should not be completely stupid. Dialogues obviously not existent. Alright, I guess we're going for this kind of game. And man, there isn't really a lot of things to comment on, sadly, because as I said, beginning stages of this game, not entirely thrilling, if I may say so myself. Obviously we're gonna have mono sounds this time around, I can afford this, and let's focus on the sound. Yeah, I don't care about the world design, let's have a little bit of it so that, I don't know, I can have some real names, although I guess I couldn't pay for using real cars' names, so let's have nothing of it. Nothing at all. And the graphic very important as well. So yeah, let's focus on the technical standpoint, because that's how I call graphics and, you know, sound. Although apparently it also gives me a bunch of design. Let's iron out the bugs and then we can proceed. Come on, gather those back, thank you very much. And let's hope for a successful title that is going to be an absolute hit. It's not, by the way, it isn't. Not on G64, as amazing as this console is. Console, PC, well, it's not PC, it's a computer, I guess. But, you know, it is going to be good enough. Right, we leveled up 2D graphics version 2. This is going to give us access to 3D graphics, I believe, which is something that my new in-game engine is going to have. And newest reviews came in. I hope they will be favorable. I really do. An 8? An 8! I love it! You should know it. All games that I make are amazing and they... Wow! People like my game. 8, 9, 8, yes, go on. Give me a 10, give me a 10, give me an 8. Well, that's good enough. Surprisingly enough. I expected the Drunken Cup 2000 to be pretty bad, but apparently it isn't. Alright, let's see how well it sells. And not all that amazing, although over 7,000 copies in the first day is not that bad either. Alright, let's do some contract work in the meantime. Can I research? No, I cannot research anything interesting as of yet, that's okay. Let's find some more contract work, 5 weeks, but it takes quite a bit of technology to achieve this thing, so even though it pays a lot, I could have some problems achieving this kind of goal, so that's only 3 weeks though, I might have some problems with that as well. Yeah, let's not risk any contracts, I'm way too careful about those. Right, how are we doing on this front? Fairly well, I have to admit. Right, how about research another topic, because I feel like we're topical. Actually, you know what, how about research gamepad? We're gonna need it in the future, might as well do it right now. Alright, so what else you can do in this game, because I have a feeling that since this video is fairly long already, I have to talk about things that are in this game rather than show it to you, unfortunately. And... oh, finally! That's one thing I was waiting for. So, for example, you can specialize in different kind of markets, like young audience or a mature audience. You can level up your characters, which is something that was, in fact, in game dev story, although it was different in terms of stats that you can have. And there are a bunch of other things as well. So anyway, industry report, yada yada yada. So now we can actually focus on a specific age, which is important. We research a gamepad, which is nice. You just research your first engine part. To be able to use this in your games, you need to create a new engine which includes this part. Yes, I know. And now I can research target audience. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I do need to have this researched. It basically allows you to, you know, aim at the right audience, which is very significant and important if I may say so myself. Right, I think I'll make a mature game next time around because, I don't know, I feel like it. So the target audience has been researched, and now let us focus. Actually, can I get another interesting topic? Superheroes. Yeah, let's get that. I like superheroes. Actually, I don't like superheroes. They're too cheesy to my taste and my liking, but many people do like superheroes, and we're required to pay the algorithm in free time. Do I need to have this amount of money, or do they just... That's annoying. I thought that they would just gradually take the money from me, and if I have to have this amount of money on my bank account in 3 months, then this might be difficult. Alright. Vena, another Japanese company, is planning to release a home version of its gaming console. Alright, maybe we're gonna wait for it. Maybe we're not going to design any games on TES. Maybe we will focus on the other console. Alright, Duncan Cup is off the market. How well did it do in overall status? It gave me a lot of profit. A reasonable amount. Actually, a very nice amount. I liked it. Granted, it did cost a lot, but I liked what I got. I have 609 fans. Yet again, without the 0, it is an awesome number. And I have access to superheroes, which is nice. I'm not gonna create a new engine just yet, because I do remember about the bank bailout, which is annoying and difficult to deal with. And what do I need next? Well, I guess contract work is not really something all that appealing. And I don't want to create a new game as well, because I'm waiting for the Vega console. So how about... that's 5 weeks for... It's the same thing that I had previously, isn't it? Right, maybe within 5 weeks time I'll be actually able to finish this contract. So, assuming my character doesn't scratch his head, I should be able to do this. Maybe? Oh man, it doesn't look too good. Come on, focus! Don't you even dare scratch your head! Don't you dare! Go on, go on! I know you can do this! Come on, come on! There we go, that's a good pancake. Now I gained a bunch of money from this, that's very helpful. Now, is Vega on the market yet? Still not, right, maybe I could do something else in the meantime. It is a new month, so maybe I got a new contract work. This would be very helpful. Let's see if there are new contract work. No, there is nothing new in here at all. I don't want to create a new game, that's the problem. And in the early stage of the game, I can either find contract work, create a custom engine, or develop a new game. Nothing is... not a single option of those out of those options is all that particularly interesting to me. Creating a custom engine, sure, it would be nice, especially since I could include a gamepad, and I think I need to do this anyway. But it will take a major portion of my money, and I'll have barely anything to pay for my bank bailout and create another game after that, which is a problem. So I guess, you know what, I need to create some kind of very cheap game Yes, I know. A very cheap game that is just there to give me a bunch of money for basically nothing. So we're gonna create a mature game. What kind of topic? Superheroes. What kind of genre? It's gonna be... I think I already made an action like previously. What kind of game did I make? I don't remember. I don't think it matters. I didn't make adventure. That's what I know for a fact. And platform, I'm gonna still keep making on G64 because hey, why not? Game engine, I only have a single one. I could not pick a game engine, but this would be very, very bad indeed. And it's a matter of how are we gonna call it? The quest... Actually... IQ test Advanced. Yeah, that's a very mature game. It's gonna have lots of blood and lots of repopulation and lots of this other mature content. It's only gonna be using the old 2D, I mean the 2D version 1 graphics because I don't want to pay too much for this game. As I said, it is supposed to be cheap, and of course, the week I start creating a new game, Vania has announced its own console, which I wanted to create some games for. Oh well, Master V is gonna have to wait for a little bit longer, I guess. It's not gonna run away, I have plenty of time, especially since I play a longer version of the game when the main storyline ends after 35 years instead of just 30. Right, it's not gonna have any save game. It's just... actually, maybe it should. And a linear story. It is going to be very expensive, but I saved a little bit on the War's graphics engine. So let's focus on the story and quests. Have a little bit of gameplay. And engine, not all that important. Surprising to say, but yeah, let's focus on the story and quests. And a little bit of gameplay because we need our superheroes to... We are the superheroes, but we are villain superheroes. We are the kind of guys that like to rip people's chests apart and whatnot. And rumors that my company is developing a game for mature audiences. Of course we're gonna give an interview because this will give our game a lot of hype. And hype is basically what makes your game sell way better than it would without any hype. Right, so IQ test advanced. What we need is a lot of dialogues, maybe not that many. Level design, who cares about level design? Let's have a little bit of it. Actually, I don't care about artificial intelligence all that much either. So let's have a little bit more level design than artificial intelligence and just focus on dialogues. Because hey, why not? We're gonna talk about how we're gonna kill people rather than just kill them. And now they took the money away. That's okay, I still have some money left, which so I guess I'll be able to survive. Now, Planet GG. Oh, for a second I thought that they were talking about my company and I was like, why did they say Planet Global Galaxy? But no, actually I'm GG as well. So Planet GG has recently published an interview with Global Galaxy. According to the interview, the company is working on its first game targeted at mature players. Pancake, obviously me, the owner and CEO of Global Galaxy said, "We think that players are looking for more mature content in games, and we were willing to take a risk to give it to them, yada yada yada. I'm so manly and I stuck in a most stupid ridiculous accent ever invented. Oh yes, because I'm this kind of awesome not guy." Anyway. Now, as you can see, this gave me a bunch of hype, and I know this, you don't need to tutorialize me about this. Anyway, it does say true. It is essential to build hype behind your game, because hype is the way you're gonna sell a lot of game. Although you have to be careful, because if you hype up a game that is very, very bad, then people are gonna hate you for it. Anyway, what do I need for this game? More sounds. I need some dialogues in this. Maybe I'll be the voice actor of this game, and oh man, this is going to be such a bad game. Anyway, I guess we're gonna focus equally on everything pretty much, because I do want graphics to be somewhat advanced. I do need to have sounds fairly good, because you know it's an adventure game, and world design is important as well because it's a superheroes adventure game. Yeah, let's focus on everything equally. I believe it's a good idea. Anyway, my hero is scratching his head, which I would rip your arm off if I could, and well, it probably would make this guy walk more slowly, so I guess it would be counterintuitive, but you know how it goes. Now I can research casual games. No thanks. But I could. I do have a bunch of hype. I'm not sure if the hype decreases if you wait for too long, but I have not seen it decrease as of yet. Maybe it does, it would be very cool if it did, but as I said, I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to level up anything because everything is at mid stages of level 2, although level design is fairly close to leveling up, as are the graphics, and I am fairly close to leveling up, which is good. Alright, let's release the game and wait for the awesome reviews. Is it just me, or do I feel the stench of ones and twos? It's gonna be 1 and 2, isn't it? No? Or just 6? It's still bad! It's like 1 and 2 to me. Come on, don't force of me. You 4, a bit shot on your face, please. I want you to lose your face. Beautiful. Well, I guess that's something, even though it is using very old graphics technology. And now you have nuts in better, don't pretend otherwise. Man, I do hate those 4 magazines. I wish I could ban them. Like, literally. Anyway, what can I research now? Well, I can research casual games. I don't want to do this just yet. No, indeed, I did not. I could movies. I don't care about movies. Right, what can I do? What can I do? Create a custom engine, I guess. No, wait, I can't do that. I definitely cannot. Fight contract one. That's what I wanted to do. Right, is there something easy that I can definitely do? Yeah, I guess character design is going to be fairly easy. It is not going to give me a lot of money either, but I guess I'll go with. So this video is actually fairly long, almost an hour long already, which is going to give me a very difficult time when encoding this game, unfortunately. So I guess I should end right here. Very sad, I was hoping I would get a little bit further, but Master V is released, which is nice. I guess I will be able to do something about this, although I cannot even afford a new game engine as of yet. Yeah, I guess maybe I should not have started this playthrough on camera. Maybe I should have gone for start off camera and then start at more or less this stage and start recording at more or less this stage rather than just film everything. But maybe you like it. Maybe you do. I hope you do anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is save this game and say my outro. It was PANCZASU, the Mighty Mix Spammer. If you somehow managed to enjoy this dreadful video,